Hello, everyone. Anthony Fantano here, internet's itchiest ear music nerd, and I hope you're doing well. It's time for a weekly track roundup where I wear a shirt that is the exact same shade as the picture, sort of like a little title card next to me, and I go over what I felt were the best and the worst tracks of the week, songs that I felt were somewhere in the middle as well. Regardless, they're all linked down below, so you could check them out for yourself. All right. Also down below, we have our Turntable Lab link, which you can, buy records or turntable stuff over there, and we get kickback from it. We also have our Patreon page over there as well if you want to get some extra bonus monthly content while supporting us in the process, access to our Discord community, classic album live streams. You know the deal. We just did a really cool one with Joanna Newsom's Yeat, and we typically post the rebroadcasts and everything for those videos and those streams. So yeah, cool, amazing, awesome. All right, worst tracks of the week. We have a couple. We have a few. They are as follows. Bam, number one, a new one from Tegan and Sara over here. Man, this track really kind of takes me on a roller coaster. You have vocal passages that are absolutely grating and annoying, and then kind of more driving, soft indie rock bits that are completely forgettable and just don't really bring much personality to the table. It's really kind of all over the place, but none of it really comes across all that likable, in my opinion. But yeah, new track over here titled Fucking Up What Matters. We also have a new one from Khalid, and holy cow, this is the blandest and most forgettable dressing room in the mall jam I think I've heard this year. This one is really got nothing going for it. Skyline, but I mean, it has something going for it. You could listen to it in a dressing room at a mall. So there you go. All right, we have a new one from Justin Bieber, Don Toliver, Honest. It's bland, it's boring, it's forgettable. He also came out with another track titled I Feel Funny, which is sort of a memey, silly, tongue-in-cheek, semi-rap track, which is a lot more entertaining, but still like ridiculously dumb, but like dumb on purpose. It's kind of cute for Justin Bieber to let loose in the way that he does on that track, but I'm probably never going to listen to it again willingly. All right, we also have a new one from Arcade Fire over here, another taste of their forthcoming album, and Unconditional won, and I have no clue why, but it sounds like the Lumineers are now the band's backing band in making instrumentation and production decisions, and it's not sounding all that good, in my opinion. So there you go. All right, the tracks that I was on the fence with, but you might like them more than me. Thought I would shout them out. They are as follows. We have a new one from Willie Nelson. I don't do funerals, and I'm not going to be at mine. Like, man, that's a bar. That's a lyric. I mean, granted, the vocal performance is a little shaky, but like Willie is still writing some very clever, very compelling stuff. So yeah, this new track over here, I don't go to funerals, but yeah, I'm really messing with it. It's kind of fun. I have reservations about it, but it's a fun track still. All right, we have a new one over here from Superorganism, crushed.zip. I like the tune of this one generally, but the auto-tune soaked chorus like hits in such a sour, unappealing way that it kind of ruins the song a little bit for me, in my opinion. But c'est la vie. We have a new one from Sam Smith over here. I actually think this is one of Sam's better written songs in a while. I mean, sure, the production does sound a little overblown, over budget, but I do think this is like a really solid song and tune all around. Shout out to Sam Smith for dropping it. The title is Love Me More. We also have Angel Olsen, Big Time. This one is a pretty average, I'd say, teary-eyed country ballad, nothing too surprising or over the top here. It's just kind of okay. We have a new one from Mogwai, which has some cool, patient instrumental riffs and nice drum parts going on as well, but the layered vocals that kind of sit on top of it, which are kind of providing, I think, the much of what I would say is the appeal beyond the super basic stripped back rock instrumentation, just kind of gets stale after a while. I mean, it's sort of reaching for the stars in terms of its layering, but there's not really a strong melody or chord progression to make it all come together in a way that's all that thrilling or memorable. We have a new one from the Black Keys. They're rocking out. They're rocking out over here on this new track, It Ain't Over. It's got some decent riffs on it. I'll give it that, but not one of their most standout tunes that I've ever heard, certainly. We have a new one from Internet Money featuring Yeat. It's got some, no handouts is the title. It's got some visceral energy to it in terms of the vocal performance and all that. But I mean, you know, Yeat kind of veers in and out in terms of like being on tempo, being off tempo. And I feel like it sort of gets a little old after a while, frankly. We have a new one from Iceage over here. A track for them, All the Junk on the Outskirts, that I think is pretty decent, but there is like this midpoint where they kind of engage in this really abrasive, noisy passage with a very tinny kind of ringing sound and tone that kind of feels like a dentist drill is going off in my head. It's a little much, but you know, everything surrounding that is pretty decent. We have Ibeyi hitting us with a Black Flag cover featuring BERWYN of the song Rise Above. Is it my favorite rendition of this song? No, far from it. But I do appreciate the ambition in terms of like really trying to make this track, this song, translate to what the duo does, you know? So it's got something going for it. It's got something. We have a new one from Giveon. Am I blown away by this tune? No, but I do think the very mature and, you know, deep, somewhat smoky vocal performance across the track is very appealing. I do tend to enjoy Giveon's voice, even if I'm not like super crazy about any given song or something. When he does drop a single, when he does drop a track, we have a new one from Lil Baby, Frozen. It's not awful, but I would say flow wise, instrumentally, it's a pretty average track for Lil Baby, and certainly not as you know, worthwhile as the two singles that he dropped just a few weeks ago. And here we go, the best tracks of the week. We have a handful of those. Those are as follows, and are also linked down below. Blah, blah, blah. We have a new one from Wilco. Forthcoming record, Cruel Country, falling apart right now. It's a cute little country track. It's got a groove to it. It's got some clever lyrics here and there. Jeff Tweedy is sounding chill and laid back, and like he's got some kind of smart stuff to say. Yeah, I'm liking it. It's nice. It's a cool cut. We also have Ty Segall over here. Hello, hi. I'm loving the textures on this one, the heavy distortions as well. Some of the cool, colorful vocal layers and vocal work across the track. It's a fun little, you know, kind of garagey psych track from Ty. I'm digging it. Hopefully the rest of the record sounds just as good as this. Forthcoming record. Regina Spektor, another taste of her forthcoming album. The last one was a little bland. This one, Up the Mountain, is absolutely insane and one of her most eccentric tracks ever. Like really aggressive instrumentation, driving dance groove, and damn, the lyrics. There's a mountain, there's a nectar. Like it's absolutely, in many respects, like totally unhinged. And I'm kind of loving it for exactly that reason. Like one of her most unique songs and singles ever across her entire career, which I mean is pretty packed with highlights at this point. So, you know, I highly recommend checking this track out. It's easily one of the most exciting and oddest songs that I have to turn you on to this week. And we have a new one from Quelle Chris over here that I pretty much mess with. It does drag out a little bit, but still the sky is blue because the sunset is red, featuring MoRuf and Pink Siifu. And yeah, it's quite nice. It's chill. It's meditative and very emotional, just like the last single was. I have a feeling that this new record is really going to be a huge meditation on death. It's going to be very introspective. It's going to be very somber. It's going to be very laid back. But so far, the vibes are potent, so I will give it that. We have a new one also from Flume featuring Damon, Albarn, Palaces. And yeah, it's not a super snappy cut or anything like that. It's actually quite linear and drony. There's a lot of nice textures on it. And Damon's vocals on the second half are quite somber. But I feel like it's, you know, it's really kind of what the song needs, you know. So he just kind of provides exactly what the track is looking for, essentially. And yeah, I think it's a good crossover all around. And you know, one of the more compelling singles from this record so far, even if it's not like one of the catchiest that has been dropped. And that is the weekly track roundup, everybody. Hopefully you guys got some good recommendations out of this one. You are the best. I will see you in the next one, and also the next review and every other video that we drop throughout the rest of this week. Mwah. Love ya. Anthony Fantano. Tracks forever.